Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at this really interesting article that I found.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about AI,
Okay.
and more specifically, it's about how scientists are using AI
Right.
to study the evolution of the brain.
Cool.
Yeah, it's from Technology Networks,
Okay.
and the title is kind of a mouthful.
What is it?
Researchers may have solved a decades-old brain paradox with AI.
Wow.
So pretty fascinating stuff.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So basically, the article is all about this paradox.
Okay.
How can something as relatively small as our genome
Right.
contain all the information needed to build a brain with trillions of connections?
That's a question that's been bugging scientists for ages.
Yeah, and the article actually has this great analogy.
Oh,
It's like trying to fit 32 years worth of HD video into a file the size of a 1-hour movie.
That's a pretty good way to put it.
Right. Like
Yeah.
there's just not enough space.
No, it doesn't seem like there would be.
But then you look at nature and you see all this incredible complexity.
Mm-hmm.
Like newborn spiders spinning perfect webs,
Right.
or birds migrating thousands of miles.
Exactly. Like all these intricate behaviors.
It just makes you wonder, where is all that information coming from?
Yeah. It implies there must be some kind of pre-programmed knowledge.
Right.
Like a blueprint.
Yeah, but how does that even fit into our limited genome?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Oh, okay, I'm listening.
So the article introduces us to this the scientist named Professor Anthony Zador.
Okay.
And he has this hypothesis called the genomic bottleneck.
The genomic bottleneck.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that?
Well, it's the idea that this limited storage capacity
Uh-huh.
might actually be what makes us intelligent.
Whoa.
Yeah, kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But the idea is that it forces the brain to adapt and to learn from experience.
So it's like because we don't have all the answers hardwired in,
Exactly.
our brains have to figure things out.
Right. And that process of figuring things out, that's what leads to greater cognitive abilities.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But how do you even test a theory like that?
Well, that's where AI comes in.
Okay.
Instead of waiting millions of years for evolution to play out,
Uh-huh.
Zador and his team created an AI algorithm
Oh, wow.
that simulates this evolutionary pressure.
So it's like fast forwarding through evolution.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Yeah, pretty cutting edge stuff.
So how does this algorithm actually work?
Well, they call it the genomic bottleneck algorithm.
Catchy name.
And basically, it forces the AI to compress a ton of data
Oh, okay.
into a really small package, kind of like our genome.
So they're basically recreating that 32 years of HD video in an hour challenge.
Yep, exactly.
And pushing the AI to its limits to see what it can do with minimal information.
Right.
And what happened? Like, what were the results?
Well, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
This AI, even with very limited starting information,
Yeah.
was able to do some pretty remarkable things.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, for one, it was able to do image recognition.
Wow, really?
Yeah, just from a small amount of data.
That's impressive.
It is.
And was it just still images, or did they try something more challenging?
They actually had it play video games.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah, and not just any video games. They had it play Space Invaders.
Space Invaders?
Mm-hmm.
And how did it do?
It held its own.
Wow, that's great.
It's like it had some sort of inborn understanding of the game.
Like those spiders and their webs.
Exactly.
That's wild. It makes you wonder about what this means for the future of AI.
Absolutely.
Like if we can get these kinds of results with limited information,
Right.
imagine what we could do if we really push the boundaries.
Well, think about it. More efficient algorithms,
Yeah.
faster processing times,
Uh,
AI that can run on smaller devices.
so we're talking AI on our phones.
Potentially, yeah.
That would be incredible.
It would be revolutionary.
But I think the implications go even deeper than that, don't they?
Right.
Like if this AI research can help us understand how our own brains evolved,
Mm-hmm.
that could have huge implications for our understanding of intelligence itself.
Definitely.
Okay, I think it's time for a quick recap.
Okay.
So we started with this paradox, right?
Right.
Our genomes seem too small to hold all the information needed for a complex brain.
Yeah.
But what if that's actually the key?
Yeah, what if that apparent limitation
Eh,
is actually what makes us so intelligent?
that's what Zador's research is trying to figure out.
And the early results from these AI simulations, they're definitely making people think.
They really are.
It's suggesting that this genomic bottleneck might not be a bug,
Uh-huh.
but a feature.
A feature, wow.
Yeah, something that pushes our brains to be more adaptable.
And more innovative.
Exactly.
This is all so fascinating, and we're just getting started.
I know, right? There's so much more to explore here.
There is, but for now we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
And we'll be back soon to dive even deeper into this groundbreaking research.
Sounds good.
Too tuned.
That 400,000 number,
Yeah.
that really is something.
400,000-fold compression.
It's pretty impressive.
It is, but they also said that it's still nowhere near what our brains can do.
Nowhere near, no.
So, like, how do we wrap our heads around that?
Well, it's all about perspective, right?
Okay.
Our brains, they're the result of billions of years of evolution, constantly refining and improving.
Right.
So this research, it's a big step, but it really just shows us how far we have to go.
It's kind of humbling, isn't it?
It is.
Like, we think we're so advanced with our AI, and then nature's like...
Hold my beer.
Exactly.
But that's what makes this so exciting.
Okay, how so?
It's not just about copying the brain. It's about learning from it.
Okay.
Figuring out how it works.
Yeah.
And using those principles to make our AI better.
So, okay, we've established that our brains are amazingly efficient.
They are.
But how does this genomic bottleneck idea actually, like, translate to intelligence?
Okay, so imagine this.
Okay.
If our genes had to specify every single connection in our brain, we'd need a genome the size of a planet.
Oh, wow.
But that's not how it works.
No.
Instead, evolution opted for a more flexible system.
Okay.
The genome provides a basic framework, a set of starting principles,
and then
the environment shapes the rest.
So our experiences fill in the gaps.
Exactly.
So it's not a detailed blueprint. It's more like a set of guidelines.
Yeah, and that flexibility, that ability to adapt and learn, that's what makes us intelligent.
It makes you wonder if we've been going about AI all wrong.
How so?
Like, we always want bigger, more powerful.
But a more processing power.
Yeah, but what if, like, with the brain,
right,
the key is actually doing more with less?
That's a really interesting question.
And a lot of researchers are starting to ask it.
They are.
Can we create AI that's not just powerful, but also efficient and adaptable?
That learns from limited data.
Yeah.
And can handle new situations.
If we could do that.
The possibilities are endless.
I mean, think about it.
Personalized medicine.
Yeah.
Education tailored to each student.
Smart homes that actually understand us.
We could solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Like climate change.
Exactly.
It's an exciting future.
It is.
But we also need to be careful, right? Like with any powerful technology.
We need to think about the ethics. Make sure AI is used responsibly.
For the benefit of humanity.
Exactly.
It's a balancing act.
It is.
And it's a conversation we need to have as a society.
I agree.
So to everyone listening out there, don't just sit on the sidelines. Get involved. Ask questions.
Challenge assumptions.
Make your voice heard.
The future of AI is too important to be left to just a few people.
It affects us all.
So let's shape it together.
Okay, so back to the research.
Okay.
There was one thing that really stood out to me.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
The AI they were testing. While it was mimicking evolution, it started to show behaviors that were like the innate abilities we see in animals.
Like what?
Like that AI playing Space Invaders.
Right. Like it just knew how to play.
Yeah, it's almost as if...
As if it had instincts.
Exactly.
That's a really important point.
It is. Why?
It suggests that this approach...
This whole simulating evolution thing.
Yeah, that it might help us understand how innate behaviors actually emerge.
So we could use AI to unlock the secrets of our own brains.
It's like we're bridging the gap
between artificial and biological intelligence.
Exactly.
Who knows, maybe by studying AI, we could learn how to enhance our own cognitive abilities.
A mind-blowing thought.
It really is. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Okay.
What does all this research actually mean? For the average person?
That's a great question.
Like, why should they care about this genomic bottleneck and AI mimicking evolution?
Well, I think the most important takeaway is that this research could change the way we use technology.
Okay.
Imagine a world where your smartphone can run AI programs that are as powerful as supercomputers.
Whoa.
That's the kind of future we're talking about.
Personalized medicine, tailored education.
Smart homes that actually work.
It's amazing.
It is.
But it goes beyond just the practical stuff, right?
Absolutely.
It makes us rethink what intelligence is.
How we learn, how we adapt.
The efficiency of nature.
It's a whole new way of looking at things.
It's a reminder that understanding our own brains is one of the most important things we can do.
And AI might be the key.
to unlocking those secrets.
Exactly.
I'm ready when you are. Let's go down the rabbit hole. AI mimicking evolution, blurring the lines between artificial and biological intelligence.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like, what is intelligence even?
Right. We always think about knowledge and information.
Yeah, the more you know, the smarter you are.
But what if it's not about how much you know?
Okay, then what is it about?
What if it's about how you learn?
How you learn and adapt.
Exactly. And how you solve problems.
With limited resources.
Yeah, that genomic bottleneck idea.
It's kind of like a superpower in disguise.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it forces us to be creative.
Makes us think outside the box.
And that's what leads to innovation.
It's like that old saying.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah. Maybe that's what happened with evolution, too.
The limited genome.
Yeah.
Forced nature to find new solutions.
To prioritize flexibility.
Exactly. Over just having everything pre-programmed.
And now we're seeing that same principle.
In AI research.
Pushing AI to its limits.
Forcing it to work within constraints.
And what's happening?
It's starting to show those same innate abilities.
Like we talked about.
Like the AI playing Space Invaders.
Like it had some kind of instinct.
Yeah. You're creating artificial intuition.
Wow. That's a big thought.
It is, isn't it? And it raises so many questions.
Yeah, like where do we go from here?
What happens when the lines between artificial and biological intelligence
get even blurrier?
What does that mean for the future of humanity?
It's exciting and a little bit scary at the same time.
It is. On one hand, imagine the possibilities.
Right. Like what if we could use AI
to enhance our own
to
abilities?
solve problems we can't even imagine solving right now.
Cure diseases, eliminate poverty.
Push the boundaries of what it means to be human.
Exactly.
But there's always a but.
We have to be careful.
Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility.
We need to make sure AI is used ethically.
For the good of everyone.
And that's a conversation that involves all of us.
Not just scientists and engineers.
Everyone needs to have a voice.
So to all our listeners out there,
we want you to think about these issues.
Talk about them. Debate them.
Don't be afraid to ask tough questions.
The future of AI
is a future we create together.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive.
Wow, that went by fast.
I know, right? We've covered a lot of ground today.
From the paradox of the genome.
To the power of AI.
And the very nature of intelligence itself.
It's been an amazing journey.
It has.
And we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Me too. It's been great talking with you.
Likewise. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it's inspired you to keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring the incredible world around us. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing.